Hi everyone, my name is Audra Thrush. I am a personal trainer. I own my own business called Fit Fad Body Boot Camp and Personal Training. I am also a bikini competitor with the WBFF. A lot of people, when they see me at the gym or they see me walking around, they think that I've probably always been fit and always been healthy, and this is probably a really easy lifestyle for me, which has come to be an easy lifestyle and be the lifestyle that I love, but it hasn't always been my lifestyle. So I just wanted to take a moment and explain where I came from and how I've overcome the battle of the bulge. As a teenager, I was extremely active. I swam from the age of 8 to 16 competitively until I joined cheerleading in high school, and I had to make the choice of swimming or doing cheerleading. So I did cheerleading. I did flags in high school and color guard, and as soon as I got out of high school, I went to college and I started working, and my profession of choice was in the restaurant industry. So my activity level went from being nonstop from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. every day to pretty much doing nothing except for walking around during my shifts at the restaurant. In addition to that, I also got fed the lovely restaurant food, from steaks to Italian food, back to steaks, and cream spinach and all of that wonderful stuff. So I gained weight pretty fast out of high school. From the age of 18, I was about 135 pounds when I graduated high school, to about the age of 20, where I reached almost 161 pounds. And I kind of was in denial the entire time. I didn't know really how fast I was gaining weight, and I didn't feel like myself anymore. I felt like the people who came into my life at that period of time couldn't see who I was, and I was very, very, very self-conscious of how I looked. I was actually so self-conscious of how I looked that I would take pictures out of my parents' albums and I would tear them up. And in my mind, it was only a period of time. I thought that it was going to be extremely easy to lose the weight because I had never worked at losing weight in the past. So I figured if I had just started working out more and just being more active, that I would get the weight off pretty easily. And so at the time, I was working at a large corporate restaurant business who had a corporate membership with the gym. And I joined the gym thinking, this is going to be easy. So I joined, and pretty much the only thing I thought that I needed to do was get on the cardio machine. So I would get on the cardio machine, I would run, or I would get on the elliptical machine, and I'd be on there for about a half an hour, probably 6 days a week. And then I would go and I would eat, the crap that they would give us at the restaurants, and, whatever else I wanted to throughout the day. And I was not getting any results from it. I felt like I was wasting my time, and I was extremely frustrated because I was putting in all of this effort and nothing was coming of it. Finally, when I was in college, one of the requirements at the time was nutrition. So I took my nutrition class, and in the period of about 2.5 months, I think I lost 25 pounds. So it was eye-opening. And one of the main things that helped me lose the weight was the project that the teacher made me do, and that was to log my food. And we used Diet Analysis Plus. I still remember it to this day. A very archaic system and way of logging your food now. But at the time, it was amazing. And I could not believe how quickly I got the results once I added the nutrition component to my workout plan. So I did that. The class ended. I got an A in the class. All was great. And I went back to eating crap, and I went back to not logging my food. And during that time, the weight came back. And so I was pretty frustrated with that. I remember being pretty easy for me to lose the weight the first time. Not easy, but it was fairly fast. And I would eat well, and I would get on the scale, and I would see the difference. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is all it took was me logging my food and, making sure that I was eating good things. And so once the weight came back, I thought, okay, well, all I have to do is keep doing my cardio, and now I'm just going to add in the food logging again and eat well again. So the second time around, I probably got about half the results in the same period of time, and I was extremely frustrated. I didn't understand why it was different this time around. What I didn't realize was that when I was doing the cardio and the eating plan, and I didn't have any type of resistance along with it, I was lowering my metabolism because I was losing muscle mass in the process. So even though I had gotten close to what I was at before I had gained the weight, I had also lost a lot of muscle mass in the process. So my body didn't look exactly the same as it did when I was around the same weight before. So it wasn't until I finally added resistance into my program, I hired a personal trainer, and the weight started coming off again, but it was easier to maintain the weight loss as I went along with it. And after I was done kind of losing weight, I went back to eating kind of a normal diet, and it was a lot easier to maintain. So it taught me quite a few lessons. I think that my personal story is something that a lot of people go through when they're trying to lose weight, trying to just do the cardio or just do the diet or just do the two things and not add in the resistance. But it is an extremely, extremely important part of a well-rounded program to lose weight and actually maintain it afterwards. You have to have all three components. If you're missing one of the components, it's going to be really hard to get to your goals if you ever do. And if you do, it's going to be extremely hard to maintain it if you don't add in the resistance afterwards, because you're just lowering your metabolism in the process and you're setting yourself up for failure. So that leads me into how I became a personal trainer. After I got the results and started to see success, my friends and my family members wanted to know what was going on, how I was doing it. And I began helping them do the same thing that I did. So talking to them about their goals, about, what they're doing for cardio, about what they're eating, and getting them to log their food as well. They started to see success as well. And then I started to think, well, maybe I could do this as a job. Actually, it was my parents who really pushed me to do it. And, they wanted me to do something that I loved and that helped other people as well. So I became a personal trainer in 2008, in the beginning of 2008. Right after I had started training, I just started with in-house certification for, a large corporate gym, which was basically a 3-day, here you go, here's your certification, now you're a trainer, go train people. Not recommended, but I have learned a lot since then about the body, about proper form and corrective exercise, and just goal setting. I think goal setting is one of the biggest assets that you can have when you're doing a weight loss program or any type of physical fitness program. I was training on a regular basis for almost 2 years until I was promoted to assistant fitness manager in my gym, and eventually to fitness manager position. In that job, I was helping other trainers get success for their clients, as well as managing revenue, mainly sitting at a desk pretty much most of the day. Great job. It was an amazing opportunity, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about motivating trainers on how to motivate their clients, and just learned a lot of different issues that clients have along the process, dealing with, sometimes 10 trainers at a time, and all of their clients. I had almost 100 different scenarios that I was looking at a given time for issues and, obstacles that clients needed to overcome. So I was kind of assisting, helping, and learning in the process of how to help those clients. And it was a great job, but it really was not my passion to kind of sit in the background and watch other trainers help their clients. So I had held the position of fitness manager for almost 2 years, and that position mainly entailed sitting at a desk for a majority of my day. I would train maybe 2 clients, but it really wasn't the same as when I was training like 6 to 8 clients a day, moving around constantly and able to kind of get in my own workout. So I had gained a little bit of weight. It wasn't much, but I never really felt like I achieved the body that I had dreamed of. I was content, so I wasn't really pushed to say no to the bad meals or say no to going out and partying with friends. And I'd never really felt like I reached my potential with where I could push myself to. During the entire time that I was a fitness manager, I continued to train with other trainers just to see their technique. And as a trainer myself still, I like learning how other trainers push their clients, different exercises that they do. So one of my trainers asked, well, why? What's your reason for wanting to lose more weight or get in better shape? And I kind of couldn't think of one. I had entered into competitions in the past, but they were more of like a bikini beauty contest. It wasn't anything that I really had to train hard for. I would just train kind of nonchalant and go and do it. And this time I thought, well, what if I enter myself into one that is a little bit more serious? So I looked into it for a little while, and I found one in LA, and it was around the same time as I was going to go to Disneyland, because I'm a big Disney freak. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to do this one. And I almost signed up for it, but then something stopped me and I didn't. And I found something on Facebook, a friend who was going to attend a show that was out here in Sacramento. And I looked into that one, and it ended up working out well because we didn't end up going on vacation that weekend. So I signed up for the one that was in Sacramento. And I'm going to go on a little tangent here because I think that this is a really kind of funny part to my story. So I signed up for this show, and it was called the WBFF. And I knew it was more serious than a Hawaiian tropic competition, but I didn't realize how serious it was. I just kind of paid the money for it and thought, okay, well, I'm going to do this, and because I'm paying for the money for it, and because I have to be on stage, it's going to push me harder. And of course, that did happen, absolutely. But then I realized how serious this show was. I had a girl who had sent me a friend request on Facebook. Her name was Chatty Dunmore. And I think she may have sent me the friend request because she saw that I was doing the show. But I just assumed that this was one of my competitors, somebody who saw that I had signed up and she was competing too. So she added me as a friend thinking, oh, she's just trying to see what I'm doing. So I didn't really look at her page much. I just kind of thought, oh, I guess I need to get on my stuff. And I went to the store 2 days later, and I looked down at the magazines, and I see this woman on the cover of Oxygen magazine, and her name was Chatty Dunmore. And I thought, oh my God, what did I get myself into? I am going to be on stage in a bikini next to this woman who is in Oxygen magazine on the cover. It freaked me out, and it really, truly kicked my butt into gear. Turns out Chatty Dunmore is the 2-time WBFF World Champion, and she was not competing against me, but this was the competition that she was putting on. So very, very nice of her to add me as a friend and to get my butt into gear, making me think that I was competing next to her. That would have been scary. But so that's my story with her. I ended up actually getting posing Skype lessons with her for trying to figure out what I was doing on stage. But the competing process, it really made me focus on this goal of you know, I'm going to be on stage, and there are going to be a ton of people looking up on stage at me wearing a bikini, and I didn't know what my competitors were going to be like or what their experiences were, but I knew that this was a much bigger show than what I had done in the past. So from the period of when I signed up for the show and began training to July 21st of 2012, I had lost about 10 pounds and 9% body fat. It was a huge challenge for me and a huge success for me as well. I ended up placing second in the Diva Bikini Tall division for the WBFF, and from there it really sparked my passion. I had no desire to sit at a desk for 8 hours a day anymore. I really wanted to keep doing what I was doing. I want to compete more. I want to help other girls who have experienced the same things as me to get to where they want to with their bodies, because it is possible. And I think that I'm a true testament of that. I never thought that I would ever like what my body looked like in a bikini anymore. And all respect to the women who have had babies and who have been pregnant and gained weight and are trying to lose it or are losing it. You guys have my total respect. And those who, you didn't have an excuse, Mother Nature's excuse for gaining weight. You just gained it because of whatever reasons, inactivity, overeating, emotional eating, whatever it might be. You can come back from that, and it's not too late, and you can have whatever body you want. But you have to have a goal. You have to have focus, and you have to have a clear vision, as well as belief in yourself. So that's basically my story, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to it, and I hope that it has inspired you as well to think about where you want to be and what you would like for yourself, because anything is possible. So if you are trying to find a goal and trying to push yourself harder, but you just can't seem to focus on a specific goal, I think that competing is one of the best ones that you can choose. You will never push yourself as hard, I would say, outside of a competition as you will knowing that you're going to get on stage in front of a bunch of people and strut your stuff. So I think that it's a really, really good way to focus all of your energy. And if you're going to compete, I would definitely choose the WBFF. I had the most amazing experience with the WBFF. They put on a show. It's not like you walk out there with no music and you're hearing crickets in the crowd and, just like weird booing or anything like that. It was a show. It was like people come to see the show. They're cheering for you. There's music. There's lights. It was just amazing. And they're all about glamour. And I love the glitz, the glamour, wearing the rhinestones. And all of the girls were decked out in their bikinis. And we also got to wear formal wear, beautiful evening gowns. So I've had the most amazing experience competing with the WBFF. And I plan on competing again. Currently, I am 5 weeks out from the WBFF Sacramento show. And the last time I competed, it was just to push myself. It was to see where I could get my body to see, how far I could take it. And this time, it is to go and get the pro card. That is my mission. So, of course, the body is going to be great, and there's no way I'm going to regret that. But I want the pro card, and I want to compete in Vegas at the World Championship. So that's my goal right now. I got second place last year, and looking back at the videos, my boyfriend took a video while I was on stage, and there's so much room for improvement that I'm really, really excited because I've already improved my walk, and currently I'm about 3 weeks ahead of where I was last year. So I've got basically 3 extra weeks of working out and seeing where I can take my body this year. So hopefully you follow along on my journey. I'm also posting videos of what I'm experiencing along the process of this journey. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Like I stated in the beginning, I am a personal trainer as well and have about over 5 years of experience training clients. So I'm more than willing to answer any questions you might have. Thanks for following along, and I hope to talk to you soon.